Right, are we on? I think we are. How's it going? I started a couple minutes late. I had to go and get myself another coffee. I was a bit thirsty. So who's here? Say hello in the chat down there somewhere. So let's see who's here. See who's dropped by. I normally announce the live streams, you know, at least a day in advance, but this time I decided to do one this morning. I thought, oh yeah, what the hell, let's just do a quick one, and we'll see how it goes. I've got a visitor coming in a couple of hours' time, so I'll have to stop the stream in a couple of hours. So it won't be a massive long stream like it was last time. It was 7 hour long. So I haven't actually got any plans either about what we're going to work on. I've got a couple of ideas. We'll see how we go. So, put my name down in chat. Just say hello in the chat there. That's what I see you there. I can see a couple of people have popped up. I Love Christ 2 and RTB. Anthony, how's it going? All good? So it's only going to be a quick stream, a couple of hours at most. We'll see how we go. Oh, man, I need to get a haircut. Hey Dave. Andy. Right. Because yeah, what I was basically thinking I was doing was not overly exciting, just doing a calibration on a Agilent power supply. Hi Mike, how's it going? Hi Mike, it's the CMA 180. Oh yeah, new toys, always nice. I saw you mention the other day on that other stream. It can't be a stream, it was now, but was it Dave's? I saw you mention you got it there. Pretty cool. 680 pages of manual. Hi Kenneth. Cool. Yeah, so it's a bit of a surprise stream. You know, I wasn't really planning on doing one this morning. I actually wasn't going to do one because I've got Rob, who's the Agilent, he's a Agilent dealer in New Zealand, who's coming over to pick up the gear he lent me, which I did all the reviews on. So he's popping over in a couple of hours' time, and I was sort of umming and ahhing about whether he's actually interested in doing like a Q&A on stream as well, and he was up for it, but just I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to ask him, but yeah, we'll see. I expect I'll be stopping the stream when he turns up. And that's manual sort of base unit. Wow. Yeah, problem with manuals, I tend not to read them unless I need to figure out how to do something, because I just don't absorb it. I'll read through it and it's just like, it just in one ear out the other, or in one ear out the other. So yeah, it's not something I tend to do. If I need to figure something out, I'll go and read the manual and find out how to do it. That's pretty much how I'll do it. The heat, it's not too bad, and it's actually because where I am in the world, it's actually cooling down now. It's now autumn, so it's started cooling down. It's still getting quite hot. It's a couple of days ago, well, a few days ago, it's still like 24 degrees or something like that. So oh, because I'm not so helpful. So it's not too bad, but I think yesterday it's only about 22 degrees. But we had some quite wet weather recently, so it makes it quite humid and muggy. So it makes you a bit uncomfortable as well. Oh yeah, Mike. Yep. Got on a bend. A bend? I don't know. Wish I could speak languages. I barely speak English. Oh dear. So yeah, I was thinking about playing around with a little Agilent power supply there, which I repaired, which you haven't seen yet. The video will be out this coming Friday. I'll be doing that one. German, yes, yes. Guten is German. I recognise that part. Yeah. The Agilent power supply is one I think I showed in the last live stream. I showed you that front panel board, which had blown up and I had to reprogram the broker processor for that, and I got all the bits and I reprogrammed it and it worked. So, spoiler alert. Yeah, so that's coming up in a video on Friday. I'll be posting that one, I think. Let's double check. I've got so many videos here, like bits of videos queued up, and I got that one on the Marconi 2435 Frinks account, which I did over, it must be like 2 months ago now. It's still sitting there, I haven't published it yet. I've got a few. So yeah, I think I was planning on doing that one on Friday, publishing it on Friday. Then once I've actually finished tinkering with the power supply, I'll sell it. Put it online and sell it. Because I don't need another power supply, I just bought it to fix it. 13 people watching now, it's not bad. Coming along, because I didn't really advertise it. Yeah, so that's just basically what I've got to do, is go through calibration, just verify it definitely is all working properly, and just tune it basically, make sure it looks okay. It shouldn't actually take that long to do. Right now on the bench I've got a MacBook which I repaired a while ago, charging up because the battery needed a top up. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell that one or not. I'm sort of tempted to keep it. It's nice looking, nice little unit, and although it's only a 30-inch, it's a nice unit, so I'm actually tempted to keep that one rather than selling it. And I've got the Fluke 540B thermal transfer standard as well, sitting here charging up. So that I need to use for doing the calibration on the Valhalla, which I started, I don't know, 8 months ago. Yeah, 8 months ago I think I fixed that. Did a recap on it, did a video, and the last thing I was going to do was actually just do a recalibration on it and just verify its outputs and stuff like that and make sure it's correct. But you need a thermal transfer standard for that, and I had to buy one. So I bought a thermal transfer standard, which needed repairing, which I did, and now I actually need to sort of marry it all up together and hook it up to my Fluke 341A DC calibrator as well. Use that as a reference. So it's things I need to get around to. I've got all these projects which are half done. It's bloody annoying actually. I'm trying to sort of finish them all off, and I've got some more coming which I need to do, which I've got some review things to work on. I've got a couple of boards from icstation.com. Let's go and get them. So the idea of these is supposed to do a review on these things. So I actually need to sit down and design something to use these for. So we've got a buck boost converter. It's got a little heat sink which you stick on. Don't know why it's not already stuck on, but you stick that onto the main MOSFETs in there. So it's a buck boost. It's got current sensing and stuff like that on it as well, so you can just see what's going. You see a little loop there, hopefully. And yeah, so I need to use that in something. Do a little project on that. I've got no idea what yet. They just asked me, did I want something, and I went on the site. Oh yeah, it looks like it'd be handy, and chose a couple of things. And this is the other thing which I'm more likely to use. Well, kind of. It's a Wi-Fi module for like home automation. If I can get the focus point on this camera, one day I'll find it. Anyway, it's almost. So you can see it's got like relays on there, full relays, and a Wi-Fi unit. So you put it on your network and you can remotely control it and turn the relays on and off. In theory, I've got no paperwork with it, but it's all on their website, so I need to go and look at that up. So these are little projects I need to actually get done for doing a review. I mean, they sent me the stuff to do the review with, so I need to kind of get onto that. I've had them sitting here for about 2 weeks already. I need to find something to do something. I might use the buck converter to power the relay board and something like that, and kill two birds with one stone. As the saying goes. Right. So yeah, let's just flick the cameras around. Let's just do, where are we? Desk. wide. Hi David, how's it going? So you can just see over here is the 540 on charge. Yeah. Sitting there, charging up. These two Agilent power supplies. The right hand one's the one I want to finish working on. The left hand one is the one I repaired previously. Still fine. And yeah, I did an iPhone repair the other day. That battery's swollen up. Hey Adrian, how's it going? And yeah, that's a little bit interesting. I've just updated to OBS and it's still being a little bit buggy. Yeah, that's better. Didn't update an OBS this morning. We'll see if it solves some of the problems I was having. I'm not recording right now either. I'm only just streaming. I'm not recording as well. Fist bump, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't really got any plans this morning for what I'm going to do. I didn't actually sort of think, oh, okay, it's let's fix this. I need to buy some more stuff. I need to buy more test gear because I haven't got anything. He says having about half a dozen things laying around which I should work on. Yeah, thanks Anthony. Yes, give us a like. No doubt Gearbust will give me a thumbs down for my video. Man, they need to get a life. Someone said Tony, video goes up, get a whole bunch of thumbs downs. It's incredible. Anyway, just give us a thumbs up. Yeah, repair videos is what I try and do. I mean, that's what the shirt's about, and the mug, right? So I'm actually at the point right now where I've run out of mailbag stuff. So I've got a little bit of footage for tomorrow's video. I haven't even edited it yet. I've only got a couple of items. Mailbag the past couple of weeks has been really quiet. I haven't been buying much stuff, so I've got a whole bunch of repair videos kind of queued up there. So I might do 2 repair videos a week until I get some more mailbag stuff sorted out, maybe. But part of my problem is when it comes to buying the test gear, which is what I want to do videos on, is repairing the test gear. The problem I've got with that is that buying the test gear is getting expensive because the postage costs are getting ridiculous. So if you see any nice bits of test gear on eBay, which look reasonable, point it out to me, chuck it in a comment in a video or something like that, because or even in the chat here if you're doing it now, because I do want to buy more test gear to fix, but then it's a case of I've already got so many things here. I'm actually running out of ideas of things to buy, and that's part of the problem too. It's like, oh, I could buy another frequency counter. Well, I've already got a few frequency counters, and I've kind of done frequency counters to death. Think, oh, I could get a multimeter. Well, I've already got enough multimeters, so I don't need another one. That's the kind of situation I'm in now, I've got all sorts of old test gear and laying around, and you've seen all sorts of weird stuff I've bought. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I do want to buy more stuff. Well, anything I buy, I need to try and get it sooner rather than later, because I think it comes in October, I think it is. There's an amendment to the current importing laws where the prices will become taxed. Well, whatever anything currently above, try and string a sentence together would be great. Currently about $400 in Zealand to get taxed on it when it comes into the country. If it's less than that, it doesn't. That is going to change. Anything below $400 also gets taxed, which is causing problems. Apparently people like AliExpress are going to stop providing service to New Zealand because of that, which means it's going to be hard for me to buy things. So any parts I need, which I would get from AliExpress, I won't be able to get because someone sell it to me. That's going to be fun. Have I lost interest in CB radio repairs? No, not really. I prioritise. I've got some CB sitting there which I need to do. I've got those ones which I've had in the flood. I've got some more. A box of them sitting over there. My own ones, obviously. But CBs are okay, but I don't have a lot of demand for them, and you know, I prefer test gear. Really, you know, I've got CB radios sitting there which I need to finish fixing. Again, part of my problem is having time. I've got so much stuff to do, and you know, working full time as well, and I often work 7 days a week. And then I've got to try and squeeze in the time to do these videos and making the videos and all the editing and that sort of stuff too. So time is a big problem. CBs aren't a big thing anymore, so I don't put a lot of effort into them. And when I do a CB video, they don't tend to go particularly well. They're okay, but the test gear ones do a lot better. Let's have a look. Didn't see all the chat and big missing bits. I don't do a lot of repair work for other people. Most of it's for myself. You know, I do stuff for like friends and that sort of stuff, but that's about it. CB work I do. People send me stuff. I'll do CBs, but that's about it. But I don't. Again, that's a really small thing these days. So I don't get much of that. You recently found an HP 8753 VNA. Really? Let me have a look. But anything like test gear, I mean, I'm always looking at. I was looking at something the other day. I thought that looked quite interesting, but Still see this display kit for $600 in New Zealand. Yeah. I'm assuming we look for that model there. I'm not seeing a lot. Most of the stuff's quite expensive. It's quite old gear though. Things like that, they're really expensive to post to me. The postage price could easily equal the cost of the item. Now, it's quite a large, bulky item. No, I don't do YouTube full time. This is just, my hobby. YouTube is just my hobby. Hi Brian, how's it going? Who asked me about the sub count the other day? Ian asked me about sub count the other day. Oh God, why is this channel name gone off my top of my head? Ian Johnson. Because he was trying to work out some ESP8266 code for making one, and apparently he had an older 8266, and apparently it wouldn't do the SSL to YouTube's servers. Does that sound familiar to you, Brian? Since you make the API. Interesting to hear what you say about that. I mean, I think Ian's here. He hasn't said hello. So I gave Ian my the link to my sub counter, which is sitting up there with all the files for it. Does that sound right to you, Brian? That is an older 8266 can't do it. I'm not that familiar with 8266. I mean, I've used a little bit, not much. It's not something I've used a lot of. I was hoping Ian would drop in, actually. It'd be quite nice if he dropped in too. You two could have a chat about it. I think he was just going to get a new 8266 and see if he could resolve it that way. They changed the latest one. Okay. Well, he said he had an older, an old one he had sitting around, and the code I used, I think, I don't know how old that is, but it's based off your API anyway. But yeah, it's just the one I had sitting around too, I think. But I've only had mine about probably. Oh, that's right. I came with that's that new thing I got for that to review, didn't I? So client set insecure. Okay. Well, hopefully Ian drops in and you can chat to him. We'll see. I haven't heard from him, so I don't know. I think he's been quite busy recently too, so as a lot of us YouTubers are. Actually, Brian, I quite liked your last video showing the design iterations you went through with that latest project of yours, with that that module we had to do the tweaks to the PCB to allow for that, was it E connection or something like that, for that display. Quite enjoyed that video actually. Nicely put together. GPS bug rollover. Not familiar with anything. No, it's news to me. What do you know about PB? Fucking say it, I'm bloody stuttering. PB? Well, to be honest, Brian, those issues were minor, right? Like, you know, I know how you wanted to make sure that the product you sold is perfect, but in reality, a lot of manufacturers sell products which aren't perfect as well. So, you know, things happen. Hot air station. Depends what you want to do with it. If you got something which is quite challenging, you need a decent hot air station. If you're just soldering surface mount parts onto boards, making your own boards, that sort of stuff, I'd imagine a budget one would be fine. But you do get what you pay for, and if you might be doing something which has got a big ground plane, then you probably do want a better one. I've bought that quick A61DW, which is a well-priced unit which has got a lot of power behind it. It works well, can do MacBook boards on that, and doesn't quite easily compared to my old unit, which was a budget unit. Was it a? Can't remember what the name was. It was now. So yeah, it's what you're willing to pay. I mean, if you want a cheap one, yeah, sure, you can get a cheap one, but will it do everything you're going to want to do? Do you want to end up upgrading later on? You know, think about what you're going to use it for. So, I mean, a lot of cheap stations will work absolutely fine. My understanding, anyway. It's when you get the more challenging stuff, where there's a big ground plane, where it doesn't have the heat capacity to do it. Heat shrink. yeah. My old hot air station can handle heat shrink quite well. Did that really well, actually, heat shrink. Yeah. Actually, Brian, when I was watching that video of yours, we showed that it had that original ribbon cable that came with the display, which you then plugged into the board you designed. What occurred to me is then, why didn't you make that board longer, so it just plugs straight into that main board without a ribbon cable at all? But is it because there's too many variations in that board design, so that it's not always the same? I'm guessing that's why you did it that way. To me, I would have done like plug straight in, no cables. But I don't know if that's possible in a situation. Maybe you have to do different versions of the board for different displays. I don't know. I'm guessing that's what it is. An update has broken your TomTom in your car. Yeah. Oh, okay, Brian. Yep. Yeah, it just occurred to me when I saw the cable. I thought, well, you know, if it was me designing, if I knew it was for a specific board or specific display, and that is what I was designing for, I would have done it without the cable and just plugged it straight in. But as you say, you don't know what they're going to be using. So, you know, they may be using different displays, as you found out with that bloody trace error. We had to put the dip switch on there. Interesting, eh? So I'm just reading the chat about the GPS thing. A bit quiet, but yeah. Mike Rankin, okay. Dude, it's just too bad. Oh, that's typical, isn't it? See, I use my phone, right? If I'm doing GPS, I'm using the phone because it's just easier. I've had standalone GPS units before, and it was a pain, you know. Then they stopped supporting it because it became too old a model, so you have to buy a new one. Then it's like, well, if you just use a bit of software on the phone, I think I use Google Maps most of the time now. I mean, as long as you're plugged into a charger, it's fine, because otherwise it drains the battery. I think these days using your phone for GPS is better. You know, the old car stuff, you having to do those manual updates and firmware updates. It's just, the phone's just, it's always up to date. Don't have to mess around with it. You know, using Google Maps, it's up to date as we can be, pretty much. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of GPS. I mean, I did have TomTom GPS on my phone. I had a lifetime, supposedly lifetime license on that, and that expired somehow. They did an update to the firmware, to the software, and stopped supporting that version. Released a new version of the software, which required a yearly license. And it was buggy as hell. It kept on crashing and locking up halfway through, and just nah. So I don't have TomTom anymore. It's gone. It's crap. Won't use TomTom anymore. I did have another one as well. Can't remember what it's called. Did try that for a while, but now I've just given up and said, no, just use Google Maps or Apple Maps. Either one of those, because they both work fine. Yeah. I'm trying to tidy my room up a little bit. That's something we're working on. Maybe some of you guys are familiar with stuff like this. I'm hoping so. I'm working on the Wi-Fi network at the moment, and I want a modem, a wireless router, get the right term, which has bandwidth and data cap control on the router. So I'm actually surprised that a lot of modern routers don't have those kind of features built in. I know you can get like Gargoyle, Tomato, WWRDT or something like this, like the third-party firmware to reflash certain modems, but it's only certain routers. It's only restrictive though. Okay, Brian, catch you later, mate. Thanks for dropping in. And so that's been a bit of a pain trying to sort that out, because I've got to find a compatible modem router thing. Oh, God. Why do I keep getting those mixed up? I don't know. I've got to find a compatible router and reflash it. And then I've got to figure out which one's the best one to do it with. So that's a bit of a pain. I just wonder if anyone's got any experience with doing that, because I'd like to hear what your experiences are if you have got experience with that. Basically, I've got some kids here now. Well, a couple of my wife's kids, my stepchildren, as it were. They moved out and came back, and they're sitting there bloody playing games all day, chewing through the internet, and I do have a data cap, and I'm trying to restrict them, so I throttled them, because that's all I can do, physically, not throttled them, but on the router there I can actually limit the data throughput. Draytech Vigor. Haven't heard of that one. So yeah, I want to try and limit their data. So what I'll do is I'll give them a data cap. So once their data's gone, that's it. Once they've used up their fair share, they've got no internet. And I'm going to try and teach them some life lessons about using allocations and that sort of stuff. Throttling doesn't do that, it just makes it slower for them. It does help with the whole usage a bit, but not a great amount. Okay. I was looking up that thing now. I can get it locally too, it would seem. Oh, you sell a modem router. Yeah, okay. Router firewall. Did you have a particular model in mind? Oh, there you go. 2860. So look. Do they have 2860? Oh, it's a rack mount. Rack mount kit, is it? Interesting. That's probably a bit overkill for what I need. I don't have a rack or anything, so it's just oh no, that's just a panel. Okay, right. Let's have a quick look at this. So I don't need a modem, I just need a router. I keep calling it modem, I don't know why I keep calling it modem. Right, okay. Currently it's out of stock at my local supply place. Looks interesting. I'll have a look at that brand later on. I haven't heard that brand before. It's a new one on me. So I'll have a look to see what they offer. Microtech. Yeah, because hi Kim, I didn't know you were there. Let's try and get my train of thought back together. I don't do two things at once very well. Yeah, because basically what I'm looking for is something that gives data caps. Throttling would be nice, but not necessary, because I can do that through my main modem anyway. I do actually mean modem this time, because that's got allocations per device built into it. Hi Flipper. Yeah, I don't need running any PCs or anything to do it though. I just want to just have it just transparent and sitting there on a shelf. So I don't want to go to that extent. So I just need to basically main thing I really want is data caps, so I can actually limit each device with a data cap. So that computer can only use 3 GB of data that day, and once it runs out, it turns the internet off for it. PS since Unlimited, yeah. But the thing is, I've got to run a PC for that though, haven't I? Got to have a PC running all the time. I've seen it mentioned, but I sort of looked a little bit. As soon as I saw the word PC and needing a PC to run it on, I thought, no, that's not really what I want, I don't think. So I didn't look into it any further than that. Yeah, well, I don't pay for the phone on the kids. They get $20 a month and that's it. Again, once it runs out, then they don't have the phone anymore either. So either way, they're going to be restricted. Oh look, Microtech's gone to YouTube, of course. I'll have to look at that later on. Oh yeah, unlimited usage. Well, because I'm on wireless broadband here, I'm using a wireless internet link from my house to the main wireless tower. I don't know, 20k down the road, I'm guessing. And I have a data cap of 400 gigabytes. And the other thing is, because it's wireless and there's lots of other people in the area because they're rural that also have the same system now, it gets slower the more people get on it. So if I can limit the kids a bit, that's the throttling's helping. It means my speeds don't drop off so badly, which is what the throttling's doing. But the data cap will at least mean that they can't blow my internet usage, because once I go over the limit, it costs a bit of money. I think it's something like $10 a gigabyte or something like that once you go over. It's horrendous. So I want to make sure we haven't gone over yet because I've been policing it, but we're going close. Because when I'm away on the weekends, then there's kids here using internet, and they just blow it. I mean, they've used 15 gigabytes in a day, easy. So unless I get onto them, then they keep doing that. Let's see what they've used in the past couple of days. Actually, I haven't looked. So a quick look. So yeah, I definitely want to find someone who's got data caps on it, so I can data cap by device. That's the critical thing now, not the whole account, just by device. So I can limit each computer or each phone or whatever, give them an allocation. Yeah, let's see what we've used out of interest. Let's see what we used yesterday. If it's going to load. Come on, load. It's glitched. There you go. So yesterday we used 9 gig, so yeah, okay. We've already used 3 gig so far today. 3 gig, and it's only been, like, they've only been awake for about an hour. And it's not from me streaming. Streaming doesn't actually use that much, surprisingly. Anyway. Okay, that Draytech sounds promising then. Thanks for that. I'll have to make sure I have a close look at their stuff. I don't want to set up another wireless router, you know. I don't mind doing that. I've already got one wireless running, but I don't mind adding a second one just for them to use and force them to use that one, you know. So prices look fairly high though. Mind you, they've got USB fibre bloody on them as well. Don't need fibre. I have to have a look. I'll look at this stuff anyway and see what seems to fit and check features out and that sort of stuff. Of course, the interface with Google or Facebook login. Interesting. I can't read that. Let's. Okay, right. What language is that? That is Chinese. Chinese, okay. Seen your videos several times, very helpful, thank you for sharing. I do love Google Translate, it's brilliant. Go get to your night shift. No problem, PB. Catch you later. It's a business product. Yeah, that's probably why the price is a bit higher. Quality is a bit different, isn't it? Yeah. The cure. Okay, so I've got some things to look at. Great. So I'll have to look at those Drasic ones. They look promising. I don't mind spending the money on something which is of good quality, you know, and it's going to do for years. I really don't mind that at all. But as long as it's reasonable. Okay. Yeah, I have to have a good look at those and to see what will fit. Do some research on it. Well, my data connection, I mean, I don't have fibre or anything because it's a wireless link, so at best I'll get 25 megabit, something like that, upload, or download, sorry, and about 15 upload, at best. Typically it's like, now it's probably about 20 and 10 this time of day. Later in the day it's more like 5 and 1, so yeah. It varies with time of day and how many other people are using it. When I first got it, I was the only person in the town that actually had it, and it was brilliant. It was high speed all the time. And then as more people got it, it got slower and slower and slower. And it's getting quite frustrating now. It's like, sometimes it's as slow as 200 kilobit. Okay, thanks Adrian. Thanks for dropping by. But yeah. Okay, I suppose I should do something really instead of sitting here talking. I mean, I've been talking 45 minutes. Okay, let's try and calibrate this Agilent power supply without reading the manual. We'll do it without reading the manual. That should be interesting. I wish Ubiquiti did have the functionality. I've got Ubiquiti gear. Not in here, but in other places. I've got some... What are they? Poco Station M2. Poco Station M2, I've got 2 of those. Go Wi-Fi, yeah, I've purchased stuff from them before. Yeah. 3.5 megabit. Yeah. Yeah, but I wish Ubiquiti did have it. I purchased a... You would have seen the Mailbag. I purchased this thing. Alright. It's a Unify access point. They were kind of meant for mesh networks in a way, I suppose, but I can't get the bloody thing to work. I spent ages, I spent hours and hours on this. Can't get the bastard to work. I've done SSH into it. SSH got into it eventually, and then I was able to get in there and allocate a device to my bit of software on a computer and stuff like that to act as the... I can't remember what it's called now. So yeah. Controller software, that's right, Unified controller. So I haven't given up on this yet. I've just put it to one side because I was hoping I could do it with this. They're supposed to be able to do it, but it may not be this unit itself that can do it. We'll see. It's been a pain. I've spent hours on this already. I got a bit sick of it, so I just put it to one side and left it. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Yeah, I put the app on the phone as well, but whatever app you use on it, it ties it to that app. So whether it's the computer or the phone, it gets tied to one or the other. You can't have it working on both. It sort of regists itself with that, and they get linked together, and then that's when you get a bit stuck with it because you can only use that device with it then. So I've done it on the computer. I'm actually getting there eventually. I had to use SSH to get into the back end to allocate the IP address of my computer to it, and then I started to make some progress once I got that done. But you shouldn't have to go through all that bullshit to get something working. You know, it's the Ubiquiti stuff I've used before has been dead easy. It was simple to set up, no problem at all. And this thing's been a complete opposite. It's been a nightmare. TP Deco M5. Oh, okay. I mean, my house network is just an Apple airport unit, Apple airport AC unit, the AC Wi-Fi. That's what I'm using for the Wi-Fi in the house here. That's linked to my main modem, which goes off to my internet connection. There's no reason why it would be that hard. I mean, because they got it linked to a bit of software, that in itself made it really hard because I had to try and do that linking and I had to use the SSH. I've never ever used SSH before. I've heard of it, never used it, and I had to learn how to use it in order to connect to this thing. It's done. The software on the computer should go and find the thing on the network and say, right, link together. You know? Or even having it linking together, I don't understand why they do that even. You know? Other devices don't have that. Maybe it's a security thing they've got. Probably is a security, but man, it's turned to a real pain in the ass. You know, I got really frustrated with this. So, yeah, so much so I put it back in the box and put it to one side instead of getting it set up. Because after about 3 hours, I'd had enough. So I don't know why it's so hard. It's just done. Anyway, let's have a look at this bloody power supply. Let's calibrate this thing. Let's do a wide zoom. Oh, ubiquity. OBS is hanging still, even though I've done an update on it this morning. And I'm not recording at the same time, it's hanging. I've already clicked the thing to switch over views and it hasn't changed yet. Yeah, well, because you're paying a premium for Ubiquity too. It's obviously not super high compared to some other brands. It's a reasonable price for what it does, but you are paying a bit more than you would be for like consumer grade stuff because Ubiquity is used by industry. They recognise being a high quality brand, so you'd expect better. You know, in a commercial situation, somebody wouldn't spend 3 hours pissing around with this. They would send it back and get another brand that does work. You know, because time is money. Anyway, when's this thing going to switch? Come on. OBS has hung up. I might have to quit it and restart it. That's annoying. Let's get set up on the bench while I was waiting. Move these other things out of the way. We'll switch over eventually, hopefully. Is he going to switch? I mean, this is that thing I'm charging up. Let's see here. Yeah. I did a video on this previously when I was converting it. I put in a lithium cell to replace the old mercury battery that used to be in it. So, OBS isn't switching. Yeah, I'm going to have to restart OBS. The stream might drop, don't go away. It'll probably come back when I restart OBS. Okay, here we go. Restarted. Right. So this has got a bench view now. What I want to try and capture is the multimeter at the same time. Let's see if I can do this. It's a bit higher up on the bench, so I have to go further away. Don't know where this is going to end up being able to see it. Because the multimeter's up there. Don't want to be sideways there. Oh no! That's not good. think I just broke my camera. The stud just fell out of the mount for the camera. Okay, let's push it back in. I have to glue it later on. This isn't good. I don't use my handheld meter because it's not accurate enough. Oh, I might just give you the view of that. Okay, I'm going to have to give you the oh, I'm happy with that view. I can't need two cameras for this. Okay, I've got an idea. I have an idea. Just bring this over here. So, you know, get that view there. Doesn't all fall off. And then I'll get this other camera, which hopefully has a long enough wire on it. And move that. And then try and do both views at once. Oh, no, the wire isn't long enough. Guess I'll move it. We'll get this in. I hope. Right, if I stick that there like that, that might work. Now, can I do this? Aha! How's that? Let's just duplicate this. I don't want to mess with the original setup. Right. How's that? Do you reckon that'll work? Put a bit of glue on it, isn't it? Okay, I think that'll work, won't it? Hi Ian, you missed Brian before. Brian was in here, and I was talking to him about your issue with the ESP8266. Yeah, I was talking to Brian about the API, because Brian, who drops in here occasionally, he wrote the API for YouTube, which actually does the sub counter lookup, which you asked me about the other day. But unfortunately, you left about 10 minutes ago, mate. I'm not doing much. I'm just going to calibrate, or try and calibrate this power supply without reading the manual, because I thought that'd be interesting. Now I just need to find all the cables I need. I've definitely got cables, so I've just got to find them. Right. Of course, things aren't powered up for a while, so they're going to be a bit of settling time too, really. I should probably turn these on earlier. Let's get power into this. So I'll leave it on for a little while, let it warm up. I suppose the view's a bit small, isn't it? So it makes it a bit bigger. That's better, isn't it? works quite well. Oh, Brian's back. Cool. Cool. Yeah, you two can chat amongst yourselves about that. Hopefully get it sorted out. Might be resolvable without placing the unit. Yeah, sometimes I think I need like one more camera. I sort of need 3 more. I don't know, 3 more cameras, different views, but it's always an investment, isn't it? So, yeah, so this is a power supply repaired this week, or in the past week. Was it last week? I can't remember. Might be last weekend, actually. I can't remember. Anyway, I repaired this now, so that now works. So originally it was a bad encoder, which I've pulled apart and repaired. And then as I was testing for the encoder to confirm it was the encoder, not the controller, I slipped with the probe and blew the controller up, which is then I had to source new controllers and stuff like that. So anyway, I did a video on that, so that'll be coming out on Friday. So the idea of this is that I try and calibrate this because I think it's very slightly off. It is. You can see what that's saying there compared to what this is saying. Get some glare off this. Is it better? Not really. Yeah. I'll just do that in. Can't seem to win that one, actually. I'll leave it like that. So yeah, you can see there is a bit of a difference there, so I want to try and calibrate the power supply. Now this actually is a fairly straightforward calibration procedure. I did it on the other power supply before. So what I'm hoping I can do is do it without looking at the manual. See if I can go from memory. But I want to give them some more uptime first. So that channel there is slightly out. Let's try the other channel. And that one also is slightly out. So I want to try and correct those. So I want to give everything a bit of a chance to warm up first. I mean, you should have them on for like an hour or so before you do it, but it'll be close enough once, 10 minutes maybe. So yeah, adding multimeter into the live stream, that is possible. I mean, the Agilent does have a networking capability. I've never used it. I wonder if that's something I should be looking at doing. Could try and figure it out now. Not sure. I mean, being on a Mac, I'm a bit more restrictive on what I can actually do there. So that could be a problem too. If it's got a web interface, it might be right. I can probably chuck it a little window on the side or something, but it doesn't have the overlay like it does on some of these other streams. Like Paul Daniels, stuff like that, he does those. And Lewis Rossman. Don't have a couple. They do it too. Paul Daniels actually wrote the software to do it, so yeah. We'll see how we go, but I mean, it's obviously going to work for now. But I just want to give it some more time. You can see that top one there is changing already, sort of drifted down slightly, so. Yeah, so Paul Daniels wrote the software, so he's got a serial link to his multimeter. So it reads serial data, and then he's using a bit of software that he wrote to overlay it into a window, which he then puts over the top of the screen on the live stream. And he's done the same thing for Lewis Rossman uses the same software. So if you ever see Paul Daniels, if you haven't seen his channel, he does a lot of MacBook repair stuff. So go look for him. He's a pretty clued up guy. He's in Australia. But you can see it's still settling down a little bit there. The level's changing a little bit, so I just want to give it some settle time. Let everything warm up a little bit. Probably should have turned these on a bit earlier on. Yeah, come back to me for the time being. Oh, you can't come back to me for the time being because the camera's over there. Oh, we can't look at me now. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, that one there. So yeah. But you can see it's drifting, you know, whether that's the meter warming up or whether it's the power supply warming up. Don't know. Which is why you have to have that settle time, you know. You have to have things warmed up a little bit. I mean, the output looks pretty good, it's just the readback. So obviously I want to make sure that the readback on here is all settled. Because that's what you're really adjusting is the readback. Okay, so basically what you got on that power supply is, I'll explain what I have to do. There's a calibrate button on the front here. That button there is calibrate. So you turn the unit off, hold the button down, turn it on, and that then lets you go into the calibration mode. And from there you can calibrate voltage and current for each channel. And you can do individual calibration, you don't have to do the whole thing, you can do one part of it and skip a piece. So you know, you can do that sort of stuff on there. And it's a pretty straightforward process. I mean, it's only a power supply, it's not super precise, but you want it to be reading correctly. You know, right now it's not reading correctly, so I want to correct for that. And I can do the current measurements as well. I could probably figure out some way loading it up and calibrate the current as well. So it's still drifting around a little bit, still some variation, but it's not settled down yet. Yeah. Well, it's an Agilent power supply, so you know you're getting quality there straight away. You know, so I picked this up quite cheaply. I think it was about. I think I picked it up for about $300 New Zealand, remember rightly. And it was sold as apparently working, but there were no photos of it working. There was nothing. There was a single photo of it powered up. Anyway, so it turned up. I did a mailbag on it when it showed up, and it turned out the encoder on the front panel there was faulty, so it was missing steps and things like that, so it's playing up a lot. So although it did put out power and it did actually function, the encoder on the front was bad. And so what would have been a simple repair I ended up making more complicated by making a mistake. So I did a video on that anyway, but which you'll see on Friday. So the idea there is that basically I pulled the front panel apart. You can take the whole front panel off. There's a plug-in cable and a little header cable about so long. You unplug from the front panel, you take the whole front panel off, strip it down. There's 4 little tabs on the encoder. You can bend those out of the way, just strip the encoder down. You can get in there, bend your little fingers to be more curved, you know, just so they make a better contact. And give it a clean up, bit of deoxit, bit of lubricant, that sort of stuff. Put it back together again, and it's working fine now. But I complicated it by making a mistake and blowing the bloody display driver, or the display microprocessor. Oh, the system power supply said calibrate by GPIB. Yeah, yeah. But you see it's still drifting around, you know, it's still not completely settled down. So, and you can see the readback has actually changed as well. So it's probably the output of this has drifted rather than the meter drifting. Because it did start at 40 millivolts and now it's 20 millivolts. There you go, it's drifting back up to 30. So yeah, I think it's the power supply which is drifting around, not the multimeter. I'll give you a little preview of that potential actually. I can give you a bit of a preview on it. You'll just find it. And I'll chuck it in the top screen and give you a preview. Bit of a teaser. Don't know how it's going to come up, but we'll see. Let's go. That one. Let's try and sketch some of this. So I was probing around the back of the encoder here, and I didn't actually catch it the moment I slept, but basically I blew it up. And there's an IC just here which I have to take off. One of them. It's going to take a couple of weeks or so for that to arrive, so I'll obviously won't publish a video until then. Anyway, so yeah, there's the display pulled out, which you have to do. This is me programming your new IC. So I got one of these, God, what's it called again? I've forgotten what the program is called. A61 version 2 or something like that. TO861 is it? So I had to program the chip and put it on a header there in a socket, and got it working. So that's me programming it. There's the programmer there. So this has been a video anyway, and this is me trying to solder the display back in again. And the end result was obviously that it's working. So that video comes out on Friday. Come on. So yeah, it did make a good video. At least I made some content from it, but it was a bit of an uncertain moment when I realised that I'd blown up the bloody microprocessor on the front panel. Yeah, so as you can see, it works. I managed to recover it. Thankfully, there's somebody else had always done a lot of work on this already, on actually having the firmware available for the front panel controller. That was out there. I think it was it Signal Path had done it? I think it was. Something like that. And it's on the EV blog forum anyway. So thankfully someone had publicised it and put it out there. So if they hadn't done that, I would have been pretty much stuffed. Apart from pulling my other one apart and trying to read the firmware off it. Which is possible. You can read them. They're not locked. So that would have been the alternative, is to open the other one up, take the chip off, read it, and hope to program it. But the fact that actually told you what chip to use as well, yeah. So that made it a lot easier. I just basically followed the instructions and it was done. It was easy. So it made a problematic situation into quite an easy one, really, because of the work that other people have done. But yeah, it was an EV blog forum. There's a repair thread there for it. Can I find it? And here we go. Let's shove this up in a new window. I'll show you what I found. So I found this web page here. I don't know if you can see that. It's dcddcc.com. It's a blog, and this lists all the parts for the power supply which they've messed with apparently, or repaired and replaced. It is U7 is the chip which blew. So it's an AT89S51. So it's 51 series PLCC, and it basically goes through his experience of the thing and reprogramming that chip the same way I have. And yeah, so they've got links to all these places. They've got links to the devices where you can buy them. So this guy did a really good job on publicising and recording what he did. That's an excellent bloody blog. It's really good. And he uploaded the firmware here. This is where I got the firmware from, right there. So that's where the firmware is. Right, so this is where I got the firmware from. So again, it comes back to this guy doing a really good job. And so saying what device he used and what worked, and you know, he also got the firmware from somewhere. And he had all these little issues he had as well, but he solved them all. So, but yeah, it's quite an interesting little thing. So if this page didn't exist, I would have really struggled to fix this. So what I'm going to be doing is putting the files up on my website as well, on my projects page, and having basically another source for the firmware. Because if this page ever goes down, the firmware may not be out there anymore. So I like to try and replicate sources. But yeah, Damning Demonic Chen is the one which did it in 2017. So that's who deserves all the credit for it, because they did an amazing job. And yeah, I think I got this from the EV blog forum. I think it's linked on there. So yeah, you want that one there. Yeah, so it's excellent. I'm really glad I found that, because otherwise it would have been stuffed. Or it would have been a lot harder. I think I could have probably managed it eventually with a bit more research and poking around. I probably would have got there eventually. But yeah, it turned a quite serious situation into a relatively trivial one, really. Alright, well, it's still drifting around a little bit. I don't think it's getting more stable than that. I think it's sort of, it's within its normal drift tolerance, I think. So let's have a look at doing this calibration. So I think you have to do channel 1 first anyway. Turn it off, hold the carrier button down, turn it back on. Cal mode. Now, there's exit secured, yep. So we have to push a button to do stuff here. Cal mode, where is it? No, it's not it. Oh, is this locked? Oh, it might be locked. Well, that could be inconvenient if I can't calibrate it. I'm pretty sure it's different to the other one. I'm pretty sure this one works differently. I think it's locked. Let's see what this one does. I'll power this one up as well. Well, instead of, let's plug into this one. I'm pretty sure that's locked out. Did I do it right? I don't think I did I? Okay. Unsecured, right. Yeah, okay. This has been locked out. Damn it. Now there is a way of getting around that. I did read something about that. I'm going to have to go and look at that. Get down there. Just keep it warming up. Yeah, there is a way of disabling that. I think I might have to do it through GPIB. Oh, let me find the manual. I did read something about getting around that secured bloody lockout. I do have the manual here somewhere for it. Got to dig it up. Let's try and find it. I found a manual now, but I'll try and find that particular section. Factory default security codes. Okay, let's see if I can get one of those to work. If I can figure out how to put the thing in. Right. Might get lucky with that. Yeah, how did I do that before? Here we go, 3. Hopefully it's the factory default. Oh, that's wrong, 36. Yay, it's a factory default. Excellent. That's a relief. Okay. At least they didn't change it. Cool. We can carry on. Output is not currently on. Right, voltage 1. So what we've got to do here is what you read on the meter at the top is what you put on here. So it knows what it's actually putting out. Oh, 3-2 out. Get a bit carried away there. It's fluctuating slightly, but it's pretty much there, isn't it? Okay, next thing. 10 volts. You're getting 11. Guessing you can see that okay. I'll actually check, have I? Oh, 3.3. Yeah. 19.5 to 21. 0.51. 6. Oh, voltage protection cowl. Don't know what to do with that one. Let's have a look. Oh, I think I have to disconnect it, I can't remember. Or was it internal thing? It might be internal thing. Current 1 calibration, I don't want to do current. I want to do voltage 2. I'll do current later on. Okay. So that's 4428. Yep. 10 volts, 13.266. Well, it's closer to 7 than 6, really. Closer to 7, so I'll do that one. kind of close to the 5. Just let it settle a little bit, see what happens. It's drifting downwards. I might leave it there. Okay, I'm not going to do currents, so we can exit that. So I'm looking for round numbers as I'm going up. It shouldn't be drifting off if it's correctly set. There we go, it's got nice round numbers here now. Yep, that's looking good. Yep, that's looking fine. So that's our channel perfect. Go channel 1. So I have to calibrate the currents as well, yeah, but I might not do it on camera. I have to get my calibrator out for that, or my DC load, probably ideally. Right, let's wind this one up. High range. Yep, staying on nice round numbers so far. Yep, all the way up. Yep, that's looking good. Nice. Just about 0.1 there, or 10 millivolts. So it's the fraction off, maybe, but not by much. Cool, I think I'm happy with that. Let's leave it sitting there for a little bit. Right, calibrated, I think. Oh, no, let's just check the chat out, have a little look. Oh, again, dislikes come out now, are we? Dislike shot up, yeah. So I think what's happening is someone at GearBest is sending an email out to everybody or something like that and saying, go and give this a thumbs down. That's what it seems like, eh? It just suddenly shoots up. See if it works at 1 amp. Okay, you want to check the stability? Yep. Well, what I was looking at there is a read bank, obviously to make sure the read bank looks correct. So let's chuck a load on it then. Once I figure out which drawer it's in. My electronic load. Need another power cable. Oh, where's that gone? I should have another power cable. Oh, there it is. Right. Get some jacks to chuck on there. for doing accurate current measurements, I'd rather go through to the multimeter to do that, for for calibration wise, because this load isn't perfect as far as accuracy. It's close, but it's slightly off. I really need to figure out how to calibrate it. I haven't got around to doing that yet. Unexpected maker, how's it going, Sion? You got a stream running, Sion? Well, who else has got a stream running? You're showing someone DDS gearbest, yeah, well. No comment. Alright, let's shut this on a 1 amp load. And turn it on. So, yep, still pretty much there. But it's going to do 3 amps, so I could just max it out, couldn't I? So it's still pretty close there. You know, you get a little slight drop, but it's not bad. It does actually have terminals on the back to do sensing, external sense and stuff like that. You can actually do it from the back there. Yes, I think that's right. I'm not saying not a bunch of crap, am I? Yeah, it does have sense lines on the back, so it's got little links on the back there. So you can do external sensing and also external like rear panel outputs instead. Right, let's just give it a bit more. Current set, let's go. Let's give it. Yeah, let's go 3 amps. See what happens. Cut off. It's current limiting. Current limit. Oh, because I'm on the high range, aren't I? Let's go down low then. Yeah, 1/2 amps, and because it's high range, I do 1/2 amps. So that's maxed out, and that's still going alright. Yeah, that's, you can see the voltage is still pretty good. Yep. Let's change channels. Looks like the count measurements are slightly off. I have to say, I have to tune those, but see how that goes. I think I changed it up, didn't I? There we go. Right. So it's got a bit more dip on this side, but it's still pretty close. But what its readback is doing is actually matching, so I think that's okay. Channel 2 seems more accurate than channel 1. I think I might do the calibration channel 1 again. Channel 2 seems to be slightly better. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, current's saying a 1 milliamp out, pretty much on that run. Yeah, so it's pretty close. I have to be happy with. Yeah, because I'm also going to be getting a drop through those cables and stuff like that, so you know it's not 100% doing it that way. There is going to be a slight drop through those cables. So those terminals on the front there, on that load, I purchased them. I think they're from AliExpress, and they're just like a a fork terminal. I suppose you call it a fork terminal. It's not really a spade. Oh, no, it's got a name. I think it's a fork. And it just clamps down on it and it turns into a banana plug. 4mm jack. It's also got a hole on the side as well, which allows you to put a wire in instead if you want. What the links he sent me. Oh yes, Gearbest getting hacked. Yes, Gearbest got hacked. So I was actually tempted to do a video on Gearbest getting hacked as kind of retribution for them continuously targeting me. So I'm kind of tempted to do that. You know, if they're going to keep giving me crap, then I might just give them some more crap back. You know, I'm pretty sure it'd do more damage to their business by publishing that. Anyway, so as the power supply works, it can take a load. Let's chuck it in low range and just check that out. Give it a high current and low range. Let's do current set. There you go. You can do that. But yeah, like I said, there is going to be some drop on his cables and stuff like that, so it's not perfect. We'll have to hook up to the back terminals, you say. Channel, let's jump to it, yeah. So there you go. It's a massive 24 watts, pretty much. It doesn't sound that impressive, does it, when you think about it? Go. So zero there, back out. No, still that one. Yeah, 23.6 watts is what it says, but yeah, voltage drops and so on. So it's dropped down to 7.8, 7 volts here, so we're getting 130 millivolts drop. So yeah, you can't expect that, but it could do the current anyway. So it seems to be working that way. I reckon that's probably, as it is, it's good enough to sell it as it is now. I mean, it's obviously working okay. I'll be happy to sell that as it is. Calibration's certainly close enough. Closer than it was when I got it. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I should have recorded this. I think I did a video on calibration before on the other unit. I think I did do it. I'm pretty sure I did do a calibration video. So, yeah, I think it's probably covered anyway. Not Banggood, Drew. It's Gearbest. Banggood's been good. Banggood is my friend. It's Gearbust. I did a video on them. How they basically, I did some work for them. I did some promotion work for them, you know, reviews and sent traffic to their site and that sort of stuff. And they won't pay me my earnings. I did a video on it a few weeks ago now, about a month ago. So I did a bit of a just a rant video, I suppose. On them being unfair, and ever since then they've been thumbs down in my videos. Every time I do a video, they thumbs down them. So. The microscope I've got is a Ekins. It's an Ekins autofocus. It works pretty well. Bang Bros. No, that's not. It's not quite the same thing. Yeah. So well, I haven't actually heard from Gearbust, but ever since I did that video, every video I've uploaded has had a stack of thumbs downs put on it, and they come in rapidly. You know, within 10 minutes of each other, a lot of them will be up there. So I'm pretty sure it's an organised attempt by Gearbust to try and harm the channel. But like's been said, YouTube doesn't appear to look at them as a negative thing on the channel. They look at it as a way of prioritising what videos you get to see when you decide which ones you do and don't like. So, in a way, it's seen as interaction, and it's also seen as a view because they're coming to the channel to look at it. But it just doesn't look good, and I'm not 100% sure that statement is entirely correct about, you know, YouTube not really caring too much, because I don't know. I think it might affect it very slightly, but I don't think it has a big effect. Yeah, so the more people that like videos, the better. You know, if you see one of the videos, go and like it if you haven't already liked it, because it's quite important, I think. Just to at least give the appearance that more people like it than dislike it, because, you know, I think it's just people come to the channel for the first time, see a whole bunch of thumbs down, and don't think, you know, oh, it's not that good. But anyway, it doesn't bother me a huge amount. I mean, at least getting the thumbs up helps the channel too. You know, as I've always said it since I started doing the channel ages ago. Give us a thumbs up because it does help it, and yeah, it helps you make sure you see them too as well. If you like one of my videos, you're more likely to get one of my videos recommended to you elsewhere across YouTube. So it helps you to see more of my content as well. Maybe things you don't even know I've done, because I've done like over 540 videos, and you probably haven't seen them all. Yeah, Banggood are really good. I've had no problems with Banggood. They've always been excellent. Decide the thumb rating. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bothering me that right now. You know, it's there, but I'm just kind of seeing who's going to get bored of it first. You know, obviously, eventually they're going to stop. They'll get bored with it. They can't carry on forever giving me thumbs down, because I'm sure they've got better things to do. But well, maybe they don't have better things to do. That's why they're doing it. But eventually they'll get bored of it and move on. And the video I did on them ripping me off will still be there. You know, that video is going to be there forever. That's not going away. So I'm still going to win. It doesn't really matter. No, either way, I'm going to win, because my video is always going to be there. Anyway, let's try to tidy up now. Let's put this stuff away. What the hell? Lost 3 subscribers. Lost that to my subscriber counter, which is up there somewhere. Where is it? There. Handheld camera work. Awesome. Yes, that was 6634 when I started the stream. And now it's a bit less. I've got to try and set this camera back up again. Let's change views for a minute whilst I do this. And yeah, let's just do that. Give me something to look at instead of my face while I'm listening to this. Is that it? Yay, that's alright. Ish. That's slightly low. There we go. Yes, maybe I did need one more camera, so I've got two for looking at the bench. You fall asleep while videos playing in the background. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it that you leave my videos to play, which is a good thing? Or is it my videos are putting you to sleep, which is not so much a good thing? Yeah. Playtime is quite important. How long a video is watched for. If it's watched for a long time, that actually helps promote the channel. Helps get YouTube to push it more. If I played Fortnite, I would have lost 3. Yeah. Well, it might be the waffling, you know, the talking for ages first. It seems that when I do a live stream, I actually lose subscribers. It's interesting, you know. It's like, well, this is just one of the types of videos I do. Having a bit of a chat with people and having a bit of communication instead of just fixing stuff or doing a review or whatever. It's just another type. Yeah, it's funny. People can be quite fickle when it comes to the subscriptions. It's quite interesting. They'll become a subscriber because they see one kind of video I do, like, but might be a repair video, for example, right? They'll subscribe because they like that repair video and they like that kind of content. But then when I do a different kind of video, I don't like it and I'm subscribed. Instead of thinking, no, I do a range of videos and so next time I do a repair video, they would see that when it comes up. So it's, yeah, it's a bit funny really. This whole gaming thing drives me nuts really. Gaming. I don't understand gaming. Well, I also do understand gaming, I just don't understand the point of gaming. It's so much of a waste of time and effort. In my opinion, of course. If you're doing something constructive. Hi PB. Yeah. I mean, even when I was doing, when I've done live repair videos, I've even lost subscribers in that. So it's not like it's a particular kind necessarily. I don't know, it's a bit weird. I mean, I thought my repair videos would be the main thing people want to watch on the channel. Playing games to relax, yeah, sure, but when there's a difference between playing games to relax and playing games as a lifestyle. You know, a bit of gaming to relax, unwinding, you know, do something a little bit different. I understand that. But when people are spending 12 hours a day sitting in a chair gaming, that's not relaxing, that's a lifestyle. Hi, Jonathan. Oh, cool. One of the first people you subscribe to. Nice. There's a lot of good channels out there. So, you know, there's a lot you can learn. There's some people which know a hell of a lot more about electronics than I do. I'm just basically a hobbyist. And I'll just record what I'm playing around with. I'm self-taught. So I haven't got like any qualifications as such, but you know, I just like to try and figure things out as I go. I'm good at problem solving. I think that's why I can do what I'm doing. Yeah, that's right. People go looking for bits of gear that they're trying to fix. That's exactly right. So if I'm doing video on a power supply, then people might be looking for that power supply, figure out how do I fix this? Then yes, definitely. I'm trying to go, that's on the search function of YouTube. So I try and make sure I've got relevant tags when I'm doing videos. The tags in there and the description and the title will try and include things people could be searching for in order to capture those people which are trying to find information on the thing they're working on. So that's all quite critical, but also how people interact with the video determine how YouTube pushes it. I can see huge fluctuations in a week or over a period of a couple of weeks. So I can see a big spike, and when suddenly my channel starts getting promoted, I see a big increase in subscribers, big increase of views, and then it will just die and sit there and almost not change for a day or two, and then come back again. So it does sort of go up and down as YouTube promotes and then starts promoting somebody else. And I think the larger you get, the more YouTube will promote you as well. So you look at some of these larger channels, they'll get 50,000 subscribers in a couple of months because they're just bigger and they get promoted more. From Nova Scotia, oh yeah. I mean, my channel really, I started out doing this as a way of recording the things I was playing around with. I mean, I thought, well, if I'm fixing things, I might as well share what I'm doing to try and help other people out. No, I'm not qualified. But I'm not in business either. I'm just a hobbyist. You have to have electrical service technician part A as a minimum for doing things, and you have to be registered electrician. You have to be registered as well for doing any kind of business type work or electrical work. But I'm doing appliance repairs, and actually tell you something, I do actually hold ESTA. I do have that. But it's an ESTB, which is like the next one up. But yeah, I'm not a professional. People sort of, I know PB, you give a lot of feedback about good points, bad points of videos. You give a lot of feedback about that in a constructive way. So there's an impression that because I'm on YouTube and I'm putting what I do out there, that I'm professional. I'm not professional. I'm just a hobbyist, really. And if people can't wire a plug legally, yeah, I think that's currently the case. Yeah, I think you're not actually allowed to wire up a plug. Yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah. If you're being paid to do the job, you have to be qualified. Well, I'm not being paid to do any of this, so. And I'm not doing it for other people, I'm doing it for me. And it's not like I'm doing house wiring or anything like that. I'm just repairing appliances. And half the time it's not even electrical, like mains powered stuff in that way. It's not affecting those parts of circuitry. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. There's all kinds of weird bloody things there. I mean, it's just, you can't even do your own house wiring at all. You're not even allowed to do it to get it checked. You're not even allowed to do that. So it's very, very regulated. You have to have an electrician for anything. So it's a bit different. I mean, at work, I have to work with electricians and guide them to troubleshoot problems. So I know what's wrong with a piece of equipment, and I'll tell them what I think needs to be checked. But I'm not allowed to actually check it. I have to get the electrician to come and check it for me, because I'm not allowed to touch it. So yeah, even 24 volt stuff, 24 volt DC, not allowed to touch it. Regulation's not a bad thing, but I don't think it's too bad. Because of the risk of electrocution, especially, then yeah, I can understand it, but because you get all kinds of shoddy stuff. But then I've seen work that an electrician has done, and I thought that was awful. I could have done a much better job. So just because someone is qualified doesn't mean they're actually any good. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that hey they're definitely good at what they do. It means they could pass the test at the time the test happened. Doesn't necessarily mean they actually do a good job in the end of the day, you know. Anyway, right, I should probably cut the stream off because I think Rob will be here soon. I don't know if Rob wants to appear on stream or not. Yeah. I'll give an example, right? I've spent the past week repairing rust on the roof of my motorhome, my camper van, whatever you want to call it, right? I took that to a panel beaters a year ago. About a year ago, I took it to a panel beaters because I had rust on the roof. And I took it to them to fix it because I looked at it and I thought, well, I've already tried fixing it once and it came back. Because I just did a little patch and it came back. Right, it's right. It's inside a seam on the bodywork. I'll discuss Rob in a second. And so I took it to the panel beater. So look, this needs fixing properly. It's right in the seam, and I stripped out all the roof lining, everything inside as well, so you get to it from both sides to pick out the seam and fix the rust that's in the seam. Anyway, I got it back and it looked really nice. They'd done a really nice job bogging over it and painting it. It looked perfect. You couldn't even see it was there, right? It looked good. It lasted 3 months before the rust blew through the bit they bogged, where they hadn't actually fixed it properly. So I've actually spent. I took the vehicle down for a. It's got a COF, certificate of fitness. I don't know what the equivalent is in your countries. Took it down last week to get a COF done on it, to make sure it's passes registration and stuff like that, roadworthiness checks, and it failed for rust on the roof. And the guy showed me it started blowing out right along the whole seam. So I spent the past week grinding all that back, rust treating it, resealing it, filling it, and repainting. And it's underneath the solar panels, so I take the solar panels off and redo all that as well. So I put the solar panels back on yesterday and rewired it back up again. I've still got to put all the lining inside, pull that back on again. So rather than taking it to another panel beater, because I wasn't going to take it back to that one, I thought, right, sod it, because I can't get a good job done, so I've just done it myself. Because in some cases, doing it yourself is better, because you know what you're going to get. And if it doesn't work properly, it's only on you. That's why. Sometimes professionals take shortcuts. They take shortcuts because that's what they're used to doing. And then they learn where you can cut corners, and they cut those corners. Zinc primer. Oh yeah. Seal seamer, that's what I do for a living. Oh, okay, cool. I should have spoken to you a week ago, Anthony. So yeah, I basically stripped it right back. I might as well just tell you what I've done exactly. Stripped all the paint back. I used my angle grinder with a abrasive head on it. So I stripped all the paint right off, stripped off all the loose rust, got right into the seam with a wire brush head as well on my drill. So got right into the seam with that and removed any loose rust. Put some rust treatment stuff on it, stuff which goes black, Yeah, just watch your language there, Drew, because that just got flagged for that. Rust treat it all. Put some new sealer inside that seam. Obviously, after it had a chance to go off, I waited about 4 hours. Then put sealer on it because I was worried about condensation overnight because it's outside. Left that overnight. Next day, I filled it with a glass fibre reinforced filler. I didn't actually need that. That's what I had. And then painted it with primer. And then next day I did the top coat, and the next day I did the clear coat. Yeah, the wire brush is what so I used because it is on the surface, because there's two panels come together like this, and one ducts below the other one. Right, so it's inside that seam, and you also got that join down the centre there, well, down there, right? And so the top panel, the one which goes to the top, that bottom part, that is blowing out. So it all got inside that seam, it's been sitting in there. So what happened is, because it's an old vehicle, like 23 years old, this thing, and obviously the original seam seal has cracked a little bit in the paint, and then all has got in that crack and it's sat in there, and then it's obviously just caused it to rust. No, I filled it then, primed it after. The primer's over the top of the filler. And so that's what caused that to go. So I took it all right off and took off the bit. There was a couple of little holes there, well, I went right through, but it actually blown right up, and I took that piece of metal out. But it's still reinforced under there as well. So I was all fine with that. So I think I've got the rust treatment right in there. I've got in there the brush and actually tried to shove it into the seam and stuff like that as well to kind of force it right in there. So hopefully it lasts. So it's all painted now, it's all done. And I'm more confident than I am about it than with the panel beater job, to be honest. Because now on the gutter on the side, there's a section about that long, which had rusted out when I got it fixed before. Actually had a hole in the gutter. And I had to take a side window out in order to replace that piece of gutter which had rusted out. Because it's one of these glued-in windows. And when I took the window out, because I had sealer around it, because I had various leaks on the bus when I first got it, because it's an old coach, and so I put sealer around all the windows because it was clean to come from the window sills somewhere. So and that fixed all that, but they cut through that with a knife, and it scratched all the paint on the behind the window, down the edges of the window, just scratched it right up, right around, and it started rusting on the bit they cut out. So luckily I could spray through with some rust treatment stuff, aerosol stuff, and all around the window, and got it right in there, basically running down at the bottom of the window. And yeah, so that's all rust treated, and I sealed again, so there's no water getting in there. But when they did that, they only replaced a small piece like this, which was rusted out, and I told them to do the whole gutter, which is about, well, the whole piece, which is about this long. I just did one section of it, with the bit which was rusted out. I didn't do the whole thing, because the whole thing was rusty, but they only replaced the bit which actually needed doing. So I've bloody ground that all back as well, and treated that too. Yeah, once it starts, it's pretty hard. It goes black, the rust trim goes black. The filler I've got is supposed to be onto metal, so it's supposed to be. Hope it doesn't fall off. But yeah, but I gave it a day between each coat, you know, from the rust treatment and to the primer and to the top coat and to the clear coat. Did a day between each to get it's got a decent time to dry properly. Yeah, so they should have replaced the whole piece of gutter. Doing a little piece, I might as well do the whole thing, you know. They didn't do it. So that's probably going to come back and bite me at some point, I reckon. I reckon that's going to be coming back. I mean, I got in there with a wire brush and got all the loose stuff off there and treated it, but like I say, it's hard to stop it once it starts. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so back to Rob. So Rob is the Agilent dealer from Tower Packing Technologies in New Zealand. So he's the guy which lends me all the test equipment to do reviews on, the Agilent stuff. So he's coming round this morning, he's supposed to be here soon, to pick up his gear. So yeah, so I'll see. I mean, I did talk to him before about possibly doing part of a live stream and, you know, doing a bit of a Q&A with him, and he was up for it. But I did say in the end, ask the car, I won't worry about doing a live stream. Just turn up, it's fine. So he's not expecting me to be doing a live stream now. So I don't know if he's actually going to be prepared. So I don't know. So he should be here soon. He said around 10 o'clock. So I'll probably, what I'll do is wait till he turns up, and then I'll probably cut the live stream off then and deal with him then. The Siglent gear I viewed, no, I didn't buy any of that particular gear, no. Because I've already got a STS-2102 MSO scope. I've got the Keysight scope, so I don't need another scope. Although I do want one which is a higher bandwidth. I've been trying to, well, I've been going for those bloody giveaways from the Keysight scope, giveaways for getting the 200 MHz scope, wasn't it? I think it was. So a higher bandwidth would be nice, but I can't justify buying another one. Oh, because I've also got that Tektronix 300 MHz scope as well, although it's on its last legs. So I've got that. I've already got a spectrum analyzer, got HP spectrum analyzer, which you guys haven't seen for a while, and also got the Roden Swartz communication thing as well. So that's also got spectrum analyzer on it, so that kind of covers that part of it. What else was there? The power supply. I've already got one power supply. So I did that review on the SPD 1168X, I think it is. I can't remember rightly. I did that review on that power supply. I did buy that one. This is the 1305, so it's a high voltage, slightly lower current version. And that's part of the one of the reviews I did, so I didn't actually need that. If I hadn't already bought the previous one, I would have probably bought this one. And what's the other thing I did? Got the VNA spectrum analyzer thing. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, I have signal generator. I've already got, what, 3? I think I've already got 3 RF spectrum generators. Can't say. RF spectrum generators. Get it right. RF signal generators. So I've already got, I'm sure I've got 3. Definitely got 2. I might have 3. I'm wondering now. So I don't actually need any of the gear he gave me to review. But yeah, the VNA would have been nice. I have to certainly say that would have been nice if I didn't already have a spectrum analyzer. Then I'd be looking at buying one of those. Let's catch up the chat. David, does that mean I have to repair my spectrum analyzer? Yes, David, that spectrum analyzer will get done at some point. I promise you. Really, you got the 3004. Nice. Okay, catch you later, mate. Yeah, so hold on a second. Might be Rob here. Yeah. Okay. Right. So apparently Rob has arrived, so I'm going to cut the stream off and go and chat with Rob. So I'll catch you later on. Thanks for dropping by. And yes, I will definitely do that spectrum analyzer at some point. Don't you worry, David. I will get there. Catch you later.
Scott, your friend's here.